Hey guys, it's Tulip. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. So in today's video, I'm doing something really fun, which is reading people's unpopular opinions about Adopt Me, and then at the end, I'm going to share my personal unpopular opinions. I've seen a lot of videos like this, but only about Dress to Impress, and I got inspired by specifically this creator named Punk Shroom. I hope I'm saying that right, but yes, I just thought it would be so fun to make that, but in Adopt Me, of course. So I've combined a bunch of unpopular opinions, mainly from Adopt Me groups. I have looked a lot on Reddit. Yes, that might come to a surprise for some people, but I use Reddit a lot. So yes, I've compiled a bunch of unpopular opinions, and those I'm going to be reading and sharing my opinion on today. So grab a snack and let's get into it. Okay, first take from a user on Reddit says, "No pet is hard to trade. People are just impatient and then label it as hard to trade and say nobody wants it. It just takes time to find the right person. It's not hard." Personally, I agree, but then I also disagree with this. I think a lot of people are just impatient and just don't have the time, because trading does take so much time, which is kind of why I don't do it, because I am personally impatient. But you really just have to wait for the right person to come around. But I do think there are pets that are just hard to trade, like metal oxes. Absolutely no one wants them, or like there's a lot of pets that people just generally don't like. So I don't think this is entirely true. I think like it's mainly true, but I do think there are some cases where the pet is just like really not liked in the community and people just don't want to trade for them. And as always, let me know your guys' opinions on these takes. Okay, next unpopular opinion from another user on Reddit says, "Crow should be worth more than owl. Crow is 10 times cuter, 20 times more pleasing to look at, and has 100 times a better design than owl. I'd rather get a crow than an owl because of how freaking cooler the crow is compared to the smooth dirt ball that is the owl. Not gonna mention in neon. Crow is so much better than owl." Ooh, this is kind of an unpopular opinion. So many people love the owl, and I do kind of get it, but I do kind of agree with this person. Here's my thing. I think the crow is cooler and prettier, but I think the owl is cuter. I think that's why a lot of people like it, because a lot of people go for cuter pets and not necessarily cooler or more unique pets, if that makes sense. So I think that's mainly why it is so much more liked, but I do kind of agree with this. I can't lie. I do think it's a lot cooler, and the design is better and more accurate to like the in real life version, you know what I mean? So I do kind of agree. Okay, another unpopular opinion coming from, again, a random user on Reddit says, "Pets that we rarely see in game / that not a lot of people bought, like steppe lion, wood pigeon, etc., should be exotic, and not the preppy pets we can see in almost every server and in any form, like balloon unicorn, mini pig, etc." Ooh, okay, so I do get this point. I can't lie. I kind of agree with this. Again, I think the main thing is it became like pets become exotic when, I guess in my head, when like not a lot of people bought it / not a lot of people were initially excited about it, or like, yes, so they become kind of exotic and kind of rare to see. But then once they become exotic and get labeled as an exotic pet, people want it, and therefore a lot of people trade for it and get it, so you see it all the time. And that's like, but they're still labeled as exotic even though a lot of people have them, if that makes sense. So I think like initially every exotic pet was exotic, but then like after all, people realize that, oh, a lot of people like this, it's popular, they get it, and then, you know, it's easier to see around, if that makes sense. So I would say yes, but also no. if that makes sense, because I don't know, it depends on what you define as the pet being exotic means. But I do agree that like the step lion or steep lion, I don't know how to say it, I do agree that I think that should be like rare, because I never see people, or like other pets I can't really, like the Irish elk I think it's called, or something like that. A lot of pets just we never see in game, just like absolutely never. So I do think those could be called unseen pets instead of exotic. I don't know. Let me know your guys' opinion on this. It really depends on what you classify as exotic. Okay, so another random user said, too many events. As soon as one ends, another one seems to start. I miss the time in the middle just to grind and make neons. Now I'm always grinding for some kind of event currency instead. Personally, I fully agree with this. I think that once a week, especially when they do very big updates with like new currency and stuff like that, is a lot. But that's why like I feel like after a big event that has like currency, if that makes sense, so you don't have time to earn bucks because you're grinding all the currency, there should be like a 1 week break from all kinds of events. But just generally, I think like between every event, I think every Friday is just a lot. So like I feel like they could do every other Friday, and I feel like people won't complain. Or just like every 2 weeks skip like a Friday, if that makes sense, just so we have some time to grind as well. Ooh, here's another one I have not seen many people say, but this also comes from a random user saying, my unpopular opinion is that I don't think fly pods should go on pets that don't normally fly or don't look good with wings. I do not care if it makes them more valuable, they look ugly and it's a waste of a pod. Can I kind of agree with this? I actually think it would be so cool. I'm not saying that Adami should be realistic of any kind, but it just seems so weird seeing like, I don't know, like a flying otter or something like that, or just like any pet that just really doesn't look good with wings fly. It just looks so weird. So I actually kind of agree with this. I think like unicorns, I know they initially don't have wings or anything like that, but I think that makes sense, you know? But like an otter flying, that doesn't really make sense. So I kind of agree with this, but I also think that it is to make fly pets more accessible to more people, if that makes sense. Because if it was only like a few pets that could fly, it would kind of be hard to get a fly pet. But I do kind of agree with this. I think it would be so cool that you could only put fly pods on some pets. I think that would make it like a lot more unique, and personally I wouldn't be mad at it. Like I know I have a lot of pets that wouldn't, like if this opinion was like real, wouldn't like be able to fly, but I honestly don't really care because I don't use the fly that much. Just as long as you just have like one fly pet, I think it's fine. But I kind of agree. I think this would be very cool, but again, I think this is a pretty unpopular opinion because I think people really like their fly pets. Ooh, okay, so another unpopular opinion from another random user says, unpopular opinion, frost dragons, shadow dragons, bat dragons are ugly. They all look the same. Obviously, the bat dragon doesn't look like the frost or shadow, but does look like the normal dragon, just different colors. Ooh, okay. Me personally, I think yes. Okay, so the shadow and the frost do look the same. The bat dragon was, I don't agree with. I think the bat dragon was like a very unique concept when it first came out, but obviously now we have so many versions of the bat dragon, like I have out right now. So yes, but the shadow and the frost are like, I would say they're the only ones that look similar, like those two. So I don't know if I feel like they look the same, but saying they're ugly, I kind of agree. I think they're overrated, if that makes sense. I think there are a lot more like unique and cute dragons in the game. We do have a lot of dragons, so I think they're overrated in my opinion, but I don't know if I would say they're ugly. I think they're pretty cool. Okay, another one. Unpopular opinion, I think golden pets are the best legendaries and they're overhated. Ooh, okay. So this is definitely true. The golden pets are so hated along with the diamond. The diamond is not as bad, but the golden ones, nobody really wants the golden pets. And personally, I think they're overhated as well, but I think they're kind of basic, if that makes sense. And in my opinion, they're not the best legendary, but I think they're kind of basic because they just kind of took the unicorn and the dragon and like the griffin, and then they just like put gold on it, if that makes sense. But I do think the concept was really cool, and they are overrated in my opinion. They're really not that bad. Oh, okay, here's another one. I prefer neon over megas a lot more. Like a lot. I find megas so ugly. I don't know why, I just can't stand them. I try liking them, but I just can't. Ooh, this is interesting. You guys know I do love my mega neons. Like, I think some mega neons are so cool. But then again, I do think there's a lot of pets. I think my thing is, I think it depends on the pet. Like some pets just, I think, look better in mega neon, and some pets just look better in neon. But there are a lot of pets that just look better in neon, so I will agree with that. But yes, I think liking no megas I can't relate to, because there's a lot of mega neons that I just really love. Here's another one that are like related. Megas are ugly. There's barely any megas that actually fit in as megas. I mainly like the megas that aren't rainbowy, like the mega turtle. It glows colors that match it. I wish they would do that with every mega, or at least being able to choose between rainbow megas or matching megas. Okay, this is interesting. So when I first like got the turtle, I was like in like 2020 or like 2021. I don't know when the mega thing came out. I was kind of disappointed that it was only those like 3 colors, I believe. But now looking back, I think it's really cool because it really does fit the turtle, and I do wish they would do that with some more pets where like it's only a few colors. So I do agree with this. But then again, I just love my rainbows. You guys know I love everything rainbows, so that's probably why I love mega neons so much. So yes, so I can't say I hate like a lot of mega neons, because I really don't. But also being able to choose your like mega neon like colors would be so cool. Like, what? That would be so freaking cool. I would love that. Also, like, now we can choose the neon colors, because we can like color it with the spray paint tools, which I keep forgetting that you can actually do. But I think with like megas, it would be so cool if like when you make it, you could choose like the colors you want, or like pay a fee to change the mega neon colors, because I feel like people would still do that. So yes, definitely. I think that would be so cool. Okay, so here we have one that is about an update we had a few weeks back. It says, the cherry blossom update is way too overstimulating, and all the stuff is too overwhelming for my autistic brain. Okay, so I can't really, speak on that, but I get pretty overwhelmed too, or overstimulated pretty quickly, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's different for every person, especially with autism. It's so different. But personally, I loved the cherry blossom update. But again, I do kind of agree with this. There was a lot going on at like every time. Like between the mini games, there were like the 2 aging thingy, and then all these other things. There was a lot going on, so I can definitely see how it is like overstimulating. So yeah, but I like it personally because I liked the mini games. I think the mini games were really fun, but I do agree that there was a lot going on. Okay, so another one, which I think this is a really hot take as well, says, this is a hot take, but if you got scammed by a spin the wheel, pick a door, or trust trade scam, that's on you. Ooh, okay, so I do think saying that's on you is a little harsh, but again, I do kind of agree with this. We have so many people have like figured it out now, and so many people are like warning, saying this is a scam. And I think especially these scams they mentioned, I think other scams or hacking things are so less obvious, so that is like, I'm more like not empathetic, but like, you know what I mean about. But like these are so obvious, especially the trust trade, but also the pick a door is just, it's really obvious. So I think with like if it's like younger kids, I get it, because they're kids. But I think if you're like over the age of, I don't know, I can't set a specific limit of it, but I think you should know better, if that makes sense. So yes, I kind of do agree with this. Okay, so here we have a long one. This might be a hot take, but I kinda hate it when people complain about Robux Pet. Adopt Me is a huge game with 100k players and they have to keep it consistent. Since they update every week and they have a whole team working, they have to go pay those workers somehow. Plus, they listen to their fan base often, like what happened to the Benekinegos Mechanion. I don't know what that's about, sorry. The reason they aren't falling off like Royal High is because they update a lot and listen to the players. Royal High, despite selling so many dolls, receive backlash because they barely do what the players want and don't update because they don't want to pay their devs. That's what I remember from Twitter in 2022. If you want Adopt Me to keep striving, I can't say the word, then you gotta make the devs alive too. Besides, it's honestly beginner friendly. I quit for 2 years, came back in February, starting only with a bunch of low tiers and 1 legendary. And now I have 2 neon unicorns and good pets in only 2 months. Oh, okay. This is actually I actually fully agree with this. I think people complaining about the Robux pet, I get it if it was only like a Robux update. But Adopt Me always makes sure that there's also some things for people that don't have Robux. And this whole thing with Royal High is the thing I say too, because I think the issue with Royal High is that first off, they don't listen to their fan base in any sort of way, and second of all, it is just a money grab at this point. Like, let's be completely honest, it is a money grab. So but Adopt Me, I think Adopt Me does it a lot better, because first of all, they listen to the fan base so much and they come up with updates that make playing more enjoyable and more engaging, if that makes sense. But Royal High really just became a money grab. It really, really did. And that's where I agree with this person. And also, yes, I do find it kind of annoying when people complain about the Robux pets. This is coming from someone who usually can buy Robux. I can sometimes. So I don't know if that's like me speaking on with kind of a bias, but I do think if there's a pet you really like and it's Robux so you can't get it and you're like, oh, that really sucks, I'm really sad that I can't get it, I totally get that. But complaining and being mad about it, I don't really get, because Adopt Me does really come out with both pets that are Robux and not Robux, if that makes sense. Take this recent update we had for an example. They came out with the Muskrat, which is in-game bucks that you can earn for free, and then they also came out with the 3 Robux pets. So I think, and also mostly for example, the Cherry Blossom update, there were 2 Robux pets, I believe, and then there were many, I don't even know, over 6 pets that were just bucks. So I think they really do listen to the fan base. And yes, again, like the person said here, they have to pay I was just about to say they have to pay the bills somehow, but they have to pay their employees. It's not just a single person owned brand. It's there's multiple people working on it and their whole team, so they have to pay their employees and keep the game going somehow. So I think it's kind of unfair to say that they shouldn't make any pets Robux, because I think they definitely should, because they gotta keep it up somehow. Okay, another unpopular opinion says it's a roleplay game, so pets should be less about rarity and trading and more about use in roleplay. Okay, so this was the main, I guess, concept of Adopt Me at first, in the first couple of year or two, is that it was mainly a roleplay game. It was mainly about, you can listen to the name, it says Adopt Me, which was an adoption game, with babies and stuff like that. And then they kind of switched into more of a, I don't know what you would call it now, but it's more about pets and more about trading and building houses. Especially building houses the last couple of years has really gotten popular. But at first it was definitely a roleplay game, and then it kind of just transitioned. But me personally, I did roleplay in 2020, maybe at the start of 2021. I still did roleplay, but I think most of Adopt Me's fan base has grown older, if that makes sense. And then if they are kids, you just rarely see people role playing, because they'll probably choose other games that people like them also roleplay, if that makes sense, because I don't think like if I were a role player I wouldn't really roleplay in Adopt Me, because it's like really rare to find anyone who roleplays. So I would probably go to a game that does like have a lot of roleplay, like Brookhaven, or I don't know what the other ones are called. I don't know if people still play Meep City. I personally have never really played it. But yeah, so I think just most people who like to roleplay, or like younger audiences, just go to those games instead of Adopt Me, because Adopt Me has kind of rebranded since they first released. So yes, I definitely just think it's because they switched games, because I don't know, I would say I love Adopt Me now, and I'm sure when I was younger I would have loved the roleplay side of Adopt Me too. So they just kind of rebranded, so it's not really about roleplay anymore. So yeah. Okay, so this is another unpopular opinion with the Cherry Blossom update. So they say, not sure if this is unpopular, but all of the pets in the Cherry Blossom Festival update except for the Sakura Spirit are so ugly. Oh my god, I hate them so much. Personally, I kind of have to disagree. I really love the Cherry Blossom update, but I know I'm kind of biased because I like cute pets, but I really do love the Capit, and I love the Kappa Kit. You guys know I use that in a lot of my videos. But I also think the other pets that we got were really cool. What else did we get? We got the dinos, kind of the dino pets, which I think again is just a classic, and it just worked with the like simple color scheme, with the like kind of blind boxes or whatever you call them. So personally, I actually did enjoy this update, and I did like the pets, some more than others, but I also think the Baneki Neko, is that how you say it? No, I'm thinking of another pet. Oh my gosh, what is it called? But you know, with the like mask thingy on? I think it's pretty cool too. It's not my vibe personally, because I like really cute pets, but I think it's really cool, and it is like a good design. And then we get the like different, the other like crow thingy. But yes, I had to disagree. I also love the maple moth, I think it's called. Is it called a maple moth? I think I'm like mixing pets here, but the like butterfly thingy, or the moth thingy, I think that was like, I think it's really pretty, but I also am just a sucker for like any butterfly or moth pet. So yes, I would have to disagree on that one. Okay, another unpopular opinion says, the values are so stupid and shouldn't be determined by demand and demand only. How is a kangaroo worth less than a turtle when it's from the same egg and it's the same rarity? Just because people like turtles more. It's stupid. Values should be determined by how rare it is, not by the demand. Yeah, the demand has some play in it too, but it's the only thing value is determined by, and I hate it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'll have to agree but disagree. I think with any game, but also like in real life, you can say this with literally anything, like any collectible, anything else, and in other games as well. It just really comes down to what people like what, even though it's the same rarity, it just, I know demand just affects the rarity so much, which I think is like, it kind of sucks sometimes, but then again, you really can't help it. That's just like how life goes. Things that are better or prettier or stuff like that, it's just gonna be more popular. Like this has been like I think in all games it is like this, but it's also been like this like ever since the start of Adopt Me. I would say people much preferred like unicorns over dragons in the game, mostly like the basic egg we got first. So yes, I think I do agree that the demand has really influenced the rarity of a pets, but I think there's not really much you can do about it, because at the end of the day, people are gonna like and value, again, like make the value higher of the pets that are actually good designs and they like, over ones that are the same rarity, no matter how better it is, you know. So I don't know, I think you can't really help it. That's like with anything in like the world, like it is gonna be determined by how much people like it and how popular it is. Okay, next unpopular opinion, and this really is an unpopular opinion. They say that Adopt Me did a very good with their game. I remember how boring it could get back in 2021 because the lack of tasks and updates. I'm very entertained now, and it's much better for grinders too. I prefer new Adopt Me. And this is really unpopular opinion. A lot of people are like, the new Adopt Me sucks and stuff like that. I just think it's very different. It's different, but they're both good. You know what I mean? In 2021, it was a lot more simple, like this person said, and Adopt Me has made the game more entertaining, and there's much more things to do. So I kind of do agree with this person. The reason why I think a lot of people look back on like 2021 and like miss it so much is mostly nostalgia. I just think those years were really good because mainly the people you maybe played with or the memories you have, and then you're just kind of blinded by nostalgia. So that's like a personal opinion of mine. But yes, that you can say the same thing for anything that gets rebranded or updated, is that you're probably going to prefer the one you have the most memories with. So I think that's the case for a lot of Adopt Me players too. But I am kind of tired of seeing people complain about the new Adopt Me. I think kind of saying their opinions about what pets they like and don't like. That's what I do too. I say a lot of my opinions about the game, but saying the whole game is entirely bad, I don't think is true. But of course you can have your own opinion, that's fine. But yes, I just think a lot of people are blinded by the memories they had with the old game, that they can't see how amazing the new game is, if that makes sense. But that's just my opinion. Another short, unpopular opinion says, I don't like most of the new pets, and the strawberry shortcake bat dragon is overrated. Oh, I'm saying this as I'm using it. Me personally, I like a lot of the new pets. I really, really do. I think they're a lot more detailed. But I can see why people kind of like the old pets better, because they're just really classic. Like the older pets are really classic and really simple but very good. And like saying that it's overrated, I had to agree, because I just think a lot of people love Strawberry Bat Dragon. But the thing is with me, I can't really speak on it because I get it. Like I love this thing so much. So yeah, I do get it, but I do kind of agree it is. A lot of people like it, but I don't know if I would say it's overrated. I would just say it is very liked for a good reason. So now to end off the video, I'm going to be talking about my personal opinions, and they kind of tie into the ones we have just talked about, but I just wanted to share more of my opinion on them. So first of all, I feel like this is kind of a really unpopular opinion, but I prefer the Strawberry Bat Dragon and the Fairy Bat Dragon over the OG Bat Dragon. And I know that some people say that's kind of like crazy, but honestly that's just what I think. And also you guys just know I love cuter more pastel colors, so that might be a reason why. But I just think I like them so much because they're a lot more detailed. You know, Adopt Me has become like a lot better with making pets and like making them more detailed and stuff. So I just think that's the reason why I love like the new Bat Dragons more than I love the OG. But I do understand why people like the OG. Like, I mean, it is the original, and like a saying goes, no one can replace the original. But I don't think they're replacing it. I just think they're complementing it. You know, I don't know. I just really do like the new Bat Dragons, but that is just me. Another thing that it's kind of like I would say an unpopular opinion, I guess, is that I think, okay, but this is also just because of my likeness to the pet. I really like the Strawberry Bat Dragon, and I love the Fairy Bat Dragon. I think I like the Fairy Bat Dragon as well because I think I like the Strawberry and the Fairy ones very much because they're both like new and unique concepts, like new additions to the Bat Dragon, if that makes sense. I know they're not like unique because the Bat Dragon was already there, but they're more unique additions to the Bat Dragon. I think the chocolate chip one was personally, this is like a popular opinion, but I'm just gonna say it. I don't like the chocolate chip one, and that is not just because it's like more dull colored or more like brown colored, but I honestly think it was trying to replicate the success that the Strawberry Bat Dragon had, and it didn't quite do it. I think the reason why I really like the Fairy Bat Dragon is it was not just like a replica of the Strawberry Bat Dragon or like the OG Bat Dragon. It was like its own thing. It's like a more detailed, and you know what I mean? Because I do think that it's more unique, but then I like don't like the chocolate chip one, because I think it was kind of like a try of replicating the success. So that's probably why I don't like it. And my next unpopular opinion is, again, we kind of touched on this, but I like the newer pets more than I like old pets. And I'm just gonna say it, but I think the reason why this is, I understand that people like old pets, maybe because they have memories with it, or they like it because it's more simple, but personally I just love really detailed pets. Like, take a look at the strawberry bat dragon, for example. It's a newer, I would say newer-ish pet. It has so much detail. Like, look at the freckles and the ears, and just everything about it is a lot more detailed. And when you look at older pets, hold on, let me bring out an older pet. I'm gonna do a bear, because that's just like the one that came to mind. It is super cute, but it's really, really, really simple, and that can be really cute as well. I don't think simple is bad in any sort of way, but I just think when it comes to pets, I like my pets more detailed, if that makes sense. So that's just like my personal opinion. I think a lot of the newer pets are a lot more detailed and they have improved a lot. So I think that is why I enjoy the newer pets so much. And my last unpopular opinion for today is, I think nostalgia is blinding people. And what I mean by this, and myself included sometimes, I think sometimes I'm blinded by nostalgia too and kind of miss the older Adopt Me. But I think people are so blinded by nostalgia and looking back at like older memories that they forget to look at the new Adopt Me and actually see how great it is and how much like there is to do and how many like good additions Adopt Me has made to the game. So I don't know, that's just me personally, but I do understand why people miss the old Adopt Me and the memories they had with it. But I do think, me personally, I had a hard time with this too, but then I just kind of looked forward and was like, okay, we're here now, and the new Adopt Me, when you actually open your eyes, is actually great for me personally. If you don't like it, that's okay, but that's just my personal opinion. So yeah, guys, that was a bunch of unpopular opinions from the Adopt Me community and also me. Let me know your guys' unpopular opinions, or if you agree or disagree with the ones that were mentioned in this video. So yes, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe leave it a like. It really does help me out. And follow me if you want to see more content from me. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!